Hello, hello. This is the first video of this kind. I'm going to be try to uploading. Let me rephrase that. I will upload a video from now on full moons and new moons, or I will do my best to meet that expectation. However, in order to make it a more realistic expectation, I will not be editing the videos. They'll just be stream of consciousness, things that come to my mind and out my mouth via my voice. Well said. So yeah, let's have a ramble. Let's have a life update. Let's have one of these things. If you're anything like me on YouTube, anytime you see a video that's recommended to you that has, I don't know, 37 views in a channel with 10 subscribers, you're like, that's interesting. I might give it a click. And especially if it's one of these that have no thumbnail edits. It's just as plain as it can be for online. It's not. It doesn't look like it's competing for. That's what I want this to be, in so many words. Many of them could be. I'm talking about this type of video. I'm trying to train the YouTube algorithm to recommend me smaller channels that I might not agree with, or channels that I might not watch all the time, but at least, on the one hand, help out small creators, but also just get a sense, because I feel like those are the most raw, those are the most real videos. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about. Let's pivot. Earlier I mentioned that these videos are going to be stream of conscious, and the idea of consciousness being a stream of thought, being liquidy, and that goes back to William James. He's the guy who coined the term stream of conscious in 1890. Before that, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people understood the brain in terms of kind of a flow, but at least in the Western tradition, which is where William James and a lot of the schooling that I had stems from, he was the first to give it much prominence and kind of articulate in his Principles of Psychology, published in 1890. In that same book, he, I think, was one of the first people to refer to plasticity as something in the brain, neuroplasticity, and the idea that our brains adapt to situations and can grow from them and be flexible, bend but not break. And I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. And neither do you. I'm not sure how long you want these videos to be. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. I swear I have better things to talk about than everything I've just said, but that was just an intro. I've been practicing recording myself for quite some time now, and only recently have I really been sitting in front of the camera and rambling and giving a voice to some of the things that I've repressed down. And later videos of this on full moons. It's February now, so I believe is January the snow moon? February? No, January is the wolf moon, right? And February is the snow moon. You could say that this is a delayed New Year's resolution that I'm getting into, but really I just want to build the momentum, and the risk of actually putting this video online is very slim. I know some people who will watch it, but I feel like most people won't even see this. And if they do, and they get to this point, they know what they're in for. They know it's going to be rambling. They know it's going to be low level. Eventually, I would like to make these videos more to a point. But right now, I think it's important that I just commit to something, posting online, uploading, publishing work, and worry about the quality later. Because if I start with worrying about the quality, I'll create this perfect product, right? But I won't have an audience. And I feel like so much of what online media and social interaction is today is letting people in on the process behind the scenes. And a lot of that is just boring, unsexy stuff. But I think it is important that we start acknowledging the production process. There's this idea in Marxism, that's something I might talk about, called commodity fetishization. And it's not sexual in nature, although it does borrow the idea of fetish. It's that commodity fetishism is basically saying that commodities, any product that you see in a store, in a Walmart, a Target, and on Amazon online, if you like, let's say you're shopping on Amazon and you see online they have pictures of the product, right? But so often it's just a white background. That's an example of fetishism in that the product is abstracted, it's separated from its production process. And there are some things that kind of like let you in on the secrets of like, well, this shirt was, I don't know, could be made in Bangladesh or Thailand or Vietnam or China, India. There's a lot of places and spaces in the world where production happens, but we don't know what the workers look like. We don't know what the conditions were. We don't know what day it was made. We don't know however many other products were made similarly. I mean, you can go into the store and Target, Walmart, any retail place, and you see these products are abstracted from their environment. It's like they exist in their own world. They're a thing, and that thing takes on an existence or conception independent of the world around it. It's like the pristine packaging of the product is important for us to think about it as not that it's a product of natural processes and human labor. We're supposed to forget about the labor. We're supposed to forget about the work and all that. And that's something that I think we need to, in general, become more aware of. And if this video is anything, maybe when I get better at making these videos, people will come back to this video and watch it and be like, this guy's an idiot, or this guy rambles, or this guy... at least they'll be able to see that I wasn't always able to produce videos at the quality at which I hope to be able to in the future. Because I know my skills and I know my potential is so much greater than the quality of my last video, which is something I'm trying to upload videos of me making art on Mondays. And this video being an extension of that, but a new, different, unique series where it's just me rambling to the camera on full moons and new moons. And I'm choosing new moons and full moons. And if I'm ambitious, maybe quarter moons. I'm choosing that because I think it's important to get back to the natural processes. I mean, the lunar cycle has played such an important role in cultural imagery and collective celebration, or what's the word I'm thinking of? Like calibration. If you think about in the past how important a full moon would have been. I mean, for nocturnal animals, it's bright, but for people who would have existed during the day, it's safer for animals during the night because they're able to see predators that might hunt at night. And so the survival rates of species that live during the day and sleep at night, the survival rate may be better on full moons, right, than new moons, because the nocturnal predators don't have such a big advantage. I mean, that's just, I could look online and kind of get more research and evidence for this, but that's what I'm trying to get away from with these videos, with these rambles, because with these check-ins, because if I keep doing that, then I'll have so many good ideas and fact-checked ideas in my head, but I won't be sharing them online. And the whole point of what I'm trying to do here is extend myself, stretch my ability to actually at least start the process of sharing things, and then build my natural inclination and desire for quality into the process once it gets going. It's a gradual going, and I definitely have reservations about sharing stuff online too. That's something that I'll explore along the way, because if I'm just rambling, am I really providing value on this platform? But that's a thing, like, does everything have to have value, or is that just playing into the hands of capitalism, which is the dominant ideology of society today? And I mean, I grew up during a time when technology became much more ubiquitous than any other time in human history, and media, we absorbed information at such a rate that we've our attention spans are getting shorter. We retain less information because it's all readily available. It's out there. So the more information becomes available, it's like the less we know it, the less we actually like internalize, because we're typing and moving our thumbs rather than engaging the whole arm and hand and mental process during like actually physically writing something out. There's something more tangible and analog about that than a digital interaction of simply something that is like mad. Like, do you understand how it works, that this me here in real life is being transported through the camera, immortalized in some ways in an image that's synced up with sound waves, and that light and sound reproduction is then was to you, not to me yet. I still have to upload this. Was uploaded and shared online, published, and then entered into an algorithm, which, I mean, this video probably won't do well, but I hope in the future to be able to create more videos that are more competitive within the niche that I'm going to hope to carve out. I don't understand how I don't understand how this camera is working. I don't understand how my laptop works, how the hardware converts to software, and how that then gets uploaded to a cloud or a server or something. That, I mean, there's a physical reality attached to that. Like the cloud has such an immaterial feel, but aren't there's physical hard drives and servers somewhere in the world? Where are YouTube videos stored? That's a Vsauce question, right, Michael Stevens? And I want to explore that, and there's other ideas that I come across and I want to put into videos, but it's so difficult right now at this point in my life to be able to take care of myself, look after my needs, and also extend myself to the betterment of establishing a creative practice and sharing that online. And so, again, because this video is going to be so all over the place, this is just the beginning. But I hope that in the future, on the next new moon and this Monday, I'll be able to learn something more about and really this is just conversation that I'm starting, right? I mean, anything that you want to say in the comments, if you have watched this, if anybody's listening to this besides me, feel free. There's a lot that I'm interested in. I'm trying to carve out time to read books. I think that's really important, and I really love the tactility and feeling of paperback. Probably my favorite. Nothing against hardcover, but paperback just for me feels right in the hands. And I mean, I try to listen to stuff on YouTube, try to be educational, and try to deal with all the subscription services and all this. I'm 25, by the way. I turned 25 earlier this month, and so, well, I've got a few books I ordered about quarter life crisis, written from 2001, 2000, and another one in 2016, quarter life breakthrough, and written in 2022, 21. Just quarter life, and I hope to read those because I if I do have to think about a target audience, I hope that it's people my age or slightly older, but mostly younger. I want to be able to have conversations with the younger people because really this is their world. I know that people in power right now are of a certain generation, and it's like, when are we going to have a president that's younger than 50? When is that going to happen? Along with a women president and more minority presidents, it seems like we're still stuck in. I mean, America is a really young country, and I guess I'm going to get political now, but that's just kind of the nature of how everything is. There's this idea that everything is getting politicized now, and that's bad. I'm not sure I agree with that. I mean, everything should be politicized because everything is existing in a political field, right? It's not a vacuum. And I think that in order to have these conversations about meaningful social change, we have to actually look at, and not just criticize, but at least problematize different ideas of things that we take for granted, whether that's typical traditional religious systems or political systems or social institutions. Even the education system is something that needs so much work because right now, how are we able to actually not just perpetuate what's good in the world, but expand on it? Because right now it feels like there's a lot of generational trauma happening, and we're waking up to that fact slowly. But I mean, how many more generations is it going to take before we actually all acknowledge and kind of come together in a sense of unity beyond the cheesy "We Are the World" singing by pop stars that are, intellectuals or things in the public eye that are fabricated, and the unreality industry and everything that goes into that. I mean, we need to feel on the inside that we connect with the world and that there's something real and worthwhile preserving in us, and recognize that we as a species are destroying this planet, and we're destroying the world for the people who will inherit it, the younger generations. I saw the term zillennial recently, and I guess that's what I am, because I'm 25. 26 is kind of the cap at Gen Z, but I've never really felt connected to Gen Z, but I'm definitely not a millennial per se, even though when I was coming of age, early teens, I saw a lot of news in the media about millennials and how they're breaking the economy, you're not buying enough coffee, or all these kinds of absurd clickbaity things. But I don't feel as especially attached to Gen Z. And the whole idea of generations is something that I'm interested in. And the idea of growing up is paradoxical, because we're expected to grow up faster than ever, but also the typical milestones of adulthood are being pushed back further and further. People are marrying later. People are buying houses later. Because in this economy, I mean, come on. Come on. And but we also have the expectation of, okay, you got to start your business, you got to have your work life soon, you got to save money, you have to be on all the time. And it's like, what is all this technology doing to us? Where has it gotten us? It's supposed to make work easier, but we work the same, even more hours than after. I mean, before unions, you could say we were just completely, subjugated to whatever the ruling class would have had us work 15, 16-hour days, child labor, no OSHA laws, and all of this. And bad things need to happen before we can even have the institutions of like OSHA for safety regulations and fair pay and all that. And it's like, wouldn't it be great if humans could just be proactive about and actually like be mindful of the environment that they're creating and the spaces that they're producing and how it's destroying the planet, and what we actually need is centered around well-being rather than this idea of infinite, indefinite fiscal growth of this imaginary currency that we made because we initially needed to trade clothes and crops or something, or we couldn't, because we have these shared responsibilities as a society that started out in the distant past, hunter-gatherer society. And we can't even agree on the history of us, We can't even agree what happened 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years. Like, we can't even somehow agree that a Holocaust happened last century. It's controversial somehow to say things, and or at least if it's not controversial, it's contentious, because not everybody believes that the world is round, that the earth is a globe. But then you have these ideas in economics where the world is flat, and that has a totally different meaning than flat earth. Meaning that the world being flat, it has to do with the technology and the social relations, right? It used to be this more kind of rich tapestry of things, but now everything's getting flattened onto the digital screen. We're becoming two-dimensional. This video is two-dimensional. It's taking a three-dimensional thing with time and existing on a two-dimensional. Well, I mean, it's still three-dimensional. It's still existing in reality, whether you're watching this on your phone or on your laptop or whatever iPad, tablet device. But it's virtually two-dimensional, right? But it still has that dimension of time. So what exactly am I saying here? Well, on the one hand, this is just a representation of what's going in my head right now, and also an expression of, well, I want to start sharing my stuff online more, and it's going to be messy, it's going to be rambling, it's going to be all over the place like this. And it might take a while before I get good at it, but if you've seen this, maybe you'll see others, or you have seen others, and you're just going and visiting this in the past, which is kind of trippy for me to think about, because as I'm filming this, none of that stuff has happened. After this video, I'm going to have to upload it, probably have to get caught up on dishes, eat a little bit, do some more reading, and just kind of like reset. This is a Saturday for me, and I didn't get outside today. I slept in, but I have to take it one step at a time. And yeah, not really a clear way how to wrap this up, but I just want to let you know that I appreciate you tuning into this. If you did watch it, I mean, if you didn't watch it, you wouldn't be hearing me say this. So thank you for making it this far. And I hope that I can, with the next video and the video after that, provide more value in the sense of it's something that you gain insight from, or your worldview expands, or there's some questions that you had in the back of your head that I articulated in a certain way that maybe helped you along the way in your own self-development or just personal journey. And I guess I don't have a outro yet that I say, so I guess I'll just gotta go with thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, drink enough water, and stretch if you can. I might do some stretching right now. Okay, peace, bye.